I ended up running to be mayor of London and spent 7 months running for mayor. And one of the reasons, Jay, is because I was taking taxi cabs home every night. And in London, the black cab driver is like, it's part of the culture. And I love them because they're entrepreneurs and they study, the knowledge here. And these men and women were borderline suicidal. And they were like, my business is dying. I'm losing my mental health. And I don't know why I can't work. And also friends of mine had wine bars and businesses and they're all being shut down. And it just didn't make sense. And the mayor of London wasn't doing a damn thing about it. And it made me so frustrated that I tried to change it. And so I just appreciate everything you did. I know it was really challenging. Maybe we start back in 2020. I mean, if you take us back, what was going on that year with you? And do you remember some of the big moments of that year?
I mean, the biggest moment to me was March 2020. What we did was absolutely unprecedented with locking the world down. I actually remember watching the UK from the United States and thinking, okay, there's the place of sanity, right? So there was Valence and Whitty, the two health advisors to Johnson, then Prime Minister Johnson, and they were actually saying sensible things in early March. They were not particularly politically adept. They'd say things like herd immunity strategy, which is not actually a strategy. It doesn't make sense to call it that. But they were saying things that said, okay, let's protect vulnerable older people. Those are the most at risk. They basically wrote the Great Barrington Declaration in March of 2020. And then they changed on a dime in a second for reasons I still don't fully understand. That in middle of March they turned to this lockdown strategy along with the rest of the world. I mean, there was we could go into some of the reasons I think that they made that shift, but it was an absolutely extraordinary departure from everything I knew before in epidemiology and infectious disease epidemiology. The lockdown strategy was, and I knew immediately when it happened, two things. One, that this is going to hurt really hurt poor people. It was going to hurt poor and vulnerable people everywhere. Those London cab drivers, they're a few among billions of people that were hurt by the lockdowns. Every poor person on the face of the earth, every child, have been harmed by lockdown. Nearly every child, it's just mind-boggling that our leaders essentially forgot the vulnerable, the poor, the working class in that decision, that single decision. The London cab drivers, by the way, are the subject of a very famous study in science, where it turns out they have fantastically great memories, and their brains, you can see the size of the brain center called hippocampus that is responsible for memory formation. Anyways, their hippocampus are bigger than everyone else's. Anyway, so the second thought on lockdowns that I had was that in March 2020, we didn't know really how far the disease had already spread. It was really clear that it was spread very easily among humans. It had already, arrived in the United States. It arrived in Iran. It had like swept through, Wuhan, China. It had been in Italy and in the UK, obviously. And so this was a disease that was already seeded everywhere. What was the purpose of a lockdown for a disease that's already seeded everywhere? The only issue was how do you protect the people who are most vulnerable until the tide runs through? We didn't have a technology to stop it. We still don't. So those were the two thoughts that were going through my head. How far spread was the disease, and how much damage were the lockdowns we had adopted going to do?
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.